there's been an interesting development coming out of the Atlanta Falcons organization on whether or not, they should start Desmond Ridder or should they start Tyler Heineke moving forward. Because, look, they lose 9-7 to a very, very bad Carolina Panthers team. Definitely should have won. But, look, this decision to me doesn't really matter too much. Ari Mirov reported that, Falcons head coach Artie Smith said he's currently undecided on whether Desmond Ridder or Taylor Heineke will start in Week 16 versus the Colts. Now, if you don't remember, Taylor Heineke has basically had a very good career against the Colts. I think he beat him the last time he played him. So it's understandable why this decision might be made, but I don't think it matters at all. Whoever you roll with, it doesn't matter. Okay, you could put Joe Schmo in there. You could put Desmond Ridder in there. You could put Taylor Heineke in there. It's not going to matter because Arthur Smith is one of the worst coaches I've ever seen or witnessed in my life. Okay, look. Jonnu Smith is their leading receiver at tight end. Now, I'm not saying wide receiver. Jonnu Smith is better than Kyle Pitts this season. That shouldn't be the case at all. Okay, Kyle Pitts should be the dog at that position. Oh, yeah, and then in a game where you're playing a team that is terrible against the run, you give Bijan the ball 7 times against a terrible run defense. You give him the ball 7 times. Makes no sense to me at all. Arthur Smith has no clue what he's doing, and there's a reason why he's struggling to win that division. Okay, because his coaching decisions are terrible ones. Plain and simple. The product on the field doesn't match what it should be or what it should look like for all of us as fans of the National Football League. If you're a fan of the Falcons, don't understand why you give the ball to Bijan 7 times against a terrible run defense, a terrible team overall. It just makes no sense. But currently, he has no idea who's going to start at quarterback, and it really doesn't matter because if you look at their stats, both these players' stats, they're basically identical minus the interceptions. If we look at Desmond Ridder's real quick, we're not going to look through all these, stats and stuff like that, but 152, 1 touchdown, 1 pick against Carolina. Can't have it. Like, how does that even happen? But against Tampa Bay, he completely balled out. 347, a touchdown, and an interception. Take away that interception, that game looks a lot better. Then 121, 168, he had 39. That Arizona game was when Taylor Heineke actually got got benched for Desmond Ridder, and they basically had the exact same type of game. Desmond Ridder threw 39 yards, right? If we look at Taylor Heineke's stats for the 3 games that he's played this season, in Arizona when they both played, Desmond Ridder, 39 passing yards. Taylor Heineke, 55. But Heineke also had a touchdown. And then against Minnesota, Heineke balled out. He was a former Viking, 268, 1 touchdown, 1 interception. They go on to lose that game. Tennessee, 175 and a touchdown. Taylor Heineke, to me, has been the better quarterback overall, at least from these 3 ball games. It's going to be harder to say because of the split, the difference in games played this year. But if you look at the interceptions, the touchdown to interception ratios, 3-1, right? Every 3 touchdowns, he's going to throw an interception. Where Desmond Ridder, every time he throws a touchdown, he's going to throw a pick. 10 tutties, 10 picks, not good. I don't think this decision matters at all. And it just tells me that they don't believe that Desmond Ridder is the guy going forward, which is troublesome, right? You drafted him. You thought this guy was going to be something good. You took a while to actually give him the opportunity to be the starter. And once he did, it was probably too late. And now you're ruining Bijan Robinson's career because you only give him the ball 7 times against a terrible, terrible run defense. No clue what Arthur Smith is going to do moving forward because he is awful. Wouldn't surprise me if he ends up getting fired if he doesn't win the division this year, which it's a very, very close race, right? If we look at the current playoff landscape for the NFC, the Falcons sit 3 spots away from a wild card spot. Really close. It's a very close battle between these teams and whoever is going to go into the wild card spots, right? Atlanta 6-8. The team above them 6-7. The Seattle Seahawks. If they lose tonight, boom, maybe Atlanta gets put above them. Now they're 1 step closer. But you're looking at the New Orleans Saints. They're in your division. I think they lost to them earlier in the season. Hasn't looked great. Like Atlanta holds their future in the palm of their hands. They have 3 games remaining. The Rams need to lose. The Vikings, I'm a Vikings fan, sorry, but they need to lose for the Falcons to have some help. But if you look at it, they're only like 1 or 2 games away from winning their division, right? Tampa Bay, 7-7, just beat the hell out of the Green Bay Packers this past weekend and really solidified their role as being the number 1 seed. They really hold their destiny right now. They're going to be the number 1 seed if they just continue to win. But Atlanta has to win some ball games, and giving Bijan the ball 7 times against a terrible pass defense or rush defense makes no sense. Doesn't help your case to win more ball games. And they got a tough stretch coming up. Okay, they have 3 games remaining. If we look at them, they have the Indianapolis Colts on Christmas Eve. Going to be a tough one. If they start Taylor Heineke, they have a better chance than if they start Desmond Ridder, because Heineke, I think, beat them last time around or has had a good career against the Indianapolis Colts. But the Colts are rolling, man. They look like a good team, especially if they get momentum on their side. I don't see Atlanta winning this one. I really don't, unless they have to give Bijan the ball more than what they did against Carolina. And then you're looking at the Chicago Bears. You're in Chicago, in the Windy City. Chicago's playing some decent ball as of late. They're looking really good. They just lost to the Browns. But this is a team that can take it to you if you're not, how do you want to say it? If you're not ready. Okay, if you just think, oh, this is another game, it's Chicago, they're not good, you're going to get steamrolled. And that's what's going to happen to Atlanta. I hope not. I hope if you're an Atlanta fan, I hope that's not the case. And then they got to finish the season. This game right here could decide if they're going to win their division or if they're going to make the playoffs. It's against the Saints. I don't see them winning that ball game, especially with how Arthur Smith has been coaching. That team should be way different, should be way better. I think if you're an Atlanta Falcons fan, you guys can tell me, do you think this team should be way better than what it is? I would say so. Okay, you draft Bijan, top 5? Definitely the top 10. And you're barely using him? Makes no sense. The dude's an automatic game changer. Going into the season right now, you should know who your quarterback is, especially if you're putting up a fight for your division. I don't know if it's Desmond Ridder or if it's Taylor Heineke. I don't know who he's going to roll with. It doesn't matter because that team stinks and is going to lose if they don't figure it out at that head coaching position. He is terrible. I'm sorry, Atlanta Falcons fans, if you feel opposite. But if you feel the same way, I feel your pain because Bijan cannot get 7 carries. I mean, I'm just blown away at what happened. But the decision has to be made. If you're an Atlanta Falcons fan or just an NFL fan in general, worried about fantasy and all that stuff, who do you want the Atlanta Falcons to start this weekend against the Indianapolis Colts? Do you want Desmond Ridder, who has thrown 10 touchdowns and 10 picks this season? Or do you want Taylor Heineke, who's thrown 3 touchdowns and 1 pick in just 3 games? You guys let me know down below. Drop a like and subscribe to the channel. It'd be much, much appreciated. Have a great rest of the night, folks. And you just got your fix with the Wicks.